Every year on the same date, at the same time, something happens that no one can explain. November 11th, 11:11 p.m. A mysterious signal spreads across America, whispering coordinates, names, and warnings. People call it a conspiracy. Others call it a curse. But those who've heard the 11.11 signal, they never come back. Tonight, we'll uncover the truth behind the 11.11 phenomenon, a mystery that connects missing people, government silence, and something far older than we understand. This is the hidden code of 11.11, a story that will make you question reality itself. You're watching The Silent Truth, and once you hear what happens at 11:11, you'll never look at time the same way again. It started on an ordinary Tuesday in Seattle. Daniel Mercer, a data analyst for a small cybersecurity firm, noticed something odd on his computer screen. Every time he refreshed his browser or opened a new file, the same numbers flashed for half a second, 11:11. At first, he brushed it off as coincidence. Everyone saw 11:11 sometimes, right? People made wishes on it. Memes joked that it was a sign from the universe. But when Daniel checked his watch, his phone, even the office wall clock, every single one showed 11:11, frozen for just a moment. When the numbers finally changed, the air felt heavy. Static whispered through the speakers. The room seemed to breathe. That night, Daniel drove home through the gray Seattle rain. His radio flickered with distortion, and through the crackle, a voice whispered, "You're one of them now." He slammed the brakes. The radio went silent. Then, nothing but the soft hum of rain. The next morning, his emails were filled with blank messages, all sent at exactly 11:11 p.m. No subject lines, no sender names, just attachments labeled open underscore. When he opened the first one, it contained a single image, a map of the United States with red dots across major cities, Seattle, Chicago, New York, and something deep in the Nevada desert. At the bottom, 3 words were written in faint gray text. "The gate is waiting." Daniel's first thought was that it had to be a prank. Maybe a virus, maybe some hacker playing games. But when he tried tracing the email source, there was nothing. No IP, no metadata, no trail. It simply didn't exist. That night, he barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, the same image burned in his mind. That map, pulsing with red lights, spreading like infection. By Friday, he started noticing 11:11 everywhere. Street signs, receipts, license plates, even his coffee order total. The repetition gnawed at him. Was his brain pattern matching, or was something trying to get his attention? At work, he confided in a colleague named Marissa. She was quiet, analytical, and used to Daniel's odd theories. But when he showed her the screenshot, her expression changed. "Where did you get this?" she asked, voice low. "It just appeared," Daniel said. Marissa hesitated, then whispered, "You need to delete it. All of it. And stop looking at the numbers." Before he could ask why, the office lights flickered. All the monitors went black for a single second. Then every screen lit up with one phrase in bold white text. 11:11 is coming. People screamed, thinking it was a system breach. But by the time IT checked the logs, the event was gone, as if it never happened. That evening, Marissa handed Daniel a small drive. "If you start seeing the number again, plug this in and run the file. It'll block the signal." "Signal?" he asked. She didn't answer. She just said, "Don't be near any screen at 11:11 tonight." Daniel drove home fast, heart pounding. He wasn't sure if he believed her, until his phone buzzed at exactly 11:11 p.m. The screen flashed white. Then everything in the house went dark. Daniel stood frozen in the darkness. The power was out across the entire block, but his phone screen still glowed faintly. not white anymore, but red. A faint pattern pulsed in the center, for vertical lines and a single horizontal slash. 1111 written like a code. He dropped the phone, heart racing. The air around him vibrated with a low hum, like electricity trapped inside the walls. Then, a whisper drifted from the speakers of his powered-off TV. "You opened the message. Now we see you." Daniel grabbed his car keys and fled into the rain. Outside, the streetlights flickered in sync, one after another, until the whole block pulsed in rhythm. 11 flashes, then silence, then 11 again. He drove aimlessly through the city, trying to outrun something he couldn't see. Every digital billboard he passed glitched for a split second, displaying the same numbers. When he stopped at a red light, his dashboard clock froze at 11:11 p.m., even though his phone read 12:03. At the next intersection, a car pulled up beside him. The driver rolled down the window just enough to speak. "They're coming for the receivers," the man whispered. "If you're seeing the numbers, it's already too late." Before Daniel could respond, the light changed. The car sped off into the fog. Back home, his apartment door was ajar. Inside, his laptop screen had turned itself on. A new message blinked in the center of the screen. No sender, no subject, only one line of text. "Meet me in Chicago, November 11th. Midnight." Daniel exhaled slowly. He didn't know who sent it or why, but deep down, he already knew he was going. Chicago was colder than Daniel expected. The city lights shimmered across the frozen river, and the air carried that heavy silence only big cities have after midnight. He checked into a small motel on the edge of downtown, the kind of place where the walls had stories no one wanted to tell. He sat on the bed, laptop open, waiting. It was 11:07 p.m. The message had told him to be online at midnight, November 11th. He didn't know what would happen, but part of him already felt it, that same hum, deep and low, crawling up from somewhere below the surface. At exactly 11:11 p.m., his laptop screen flickered. Then a window opened on its own. A live video feed appeared. Dark room, static lines, and a woman's voice. "Daniel Mercer?" He froze. "Who are you?" "My name's Marissa," she said. "We worked together once. At least before I disappeared." Daniel's stomach turned. "Marissa?" His co-worker from Seattle. The one who gave him the drive? "This is impossible," he whispered. Marissa's eyes darted side to side. "You need to listen carefully. 11.11 isn't just a number. It's a protocol, part of an experiment that started years ago. They called it Project Gateway." Daniel frowned. "Gateway to what?" "The human mind," she said. "They discovered a frequency that triggers something inside us, something ancient. The number isn't random. It's a key. Every time you see 1111, your brain receives a pulse. Enough exposure, and the signal starts rewriting you." Daniel swallowed hard. "Who's behind it?" Marissa hesitated. "Not who, what?" The screen went black. Every November, at exactly 11:11 p.m., strange signals sweep across small-town radio frequencies in the American Midwest. Most people dismiss them as interference. But for those who listen closely, it's something else. In 2021, a college student named Evan Ross from Ohio stumbled onto one of those signals while scanning shortwave channels for a class project. He recorded a faint voice repeating coordinates over and over, followed by a chilling whisper. The gate opens at 11:11. Curious, Evan traced the coordinates to an abandoned Cold War facility outside Dayton. The locals called it the Silent Dome, a research station that was supposedly shut down after an electrical fire decades earlier. But Evan discovered recent tire marks in the mud and motion sensors still active. That night, he texted his roommate, "If anything happens, check the file named 11.11 on my laptop." The next morning, Evan's car was found near the facility. His phone was inside, still recording a 7-minute clip of distant static, a high-pitched tone, and one final phrase whispered by a second voice. He found it too early. Since then, every year on November 11th, the same frequency bursts to life again at 11:11 p.m. The message never changes. Only the coordinates do, and each time, they lead to another missing person. Locals say it's a ritual. Some think it's government experimentation. Others believe it's something far older, something using the date and time as a doorway. The FBI quietly opened a file on the 11.11 phenomenon after Evan's disappearance. Internally, it was labeled Case Meridian Signal, but officially, it doesn't exist. In the following year, 3 more incidents occurred, each connected to 11:11 p.m. A retired air traffic controller in Kansas vanished after claiming he was receiving Morse code from the sky. A group of hikers in Utah were found unconscious around a circle of burnt soil, all their watches frozen at 11:11. And in Pennsylvania, a late-night ham radio operator broadcast a final transmission. They're not human. They're coming through the static. Every case pointed to one thing. The coordinates transmitted each year changed location, but formed a perfect geometric pattern across the U.S., like a massive network map connecting hidden government sites. But the strangest part? The pattern mirrored an ancient sigil found in Native American petroglyphs, a symbol known as the Gate Between Worlds. Historians said it represented the moment when the veil of silence thins. Dr. Laura Bennett, a researcher of electromagnetic anomalies, later uncovered something terrifying. The date 11:11 aligns perfectly with an electromagnetic spike in Earth's resonance, a natural signal amplified by artificial frequencies. Someone, or something, is using it as a bridge. Locals near the mapped sites have reported identical phenomena: lights flickering, animals vanishing, and unmarked vans parked in fields at night. And yet, despite mounting evidence, every trace of the investigations disappears within hours. Databases are wiped. Reporters go silent. It's as if someone, or something, is protecting the mystery of 11.11. On November 11th, 2024, Dr. Bennett set up a mobile receiver in Arizona, determined to capture the 11.11 signal in real time. She wasn't alone. Hundreds of online listeners tuned in through her live stream, waiting for the moment the clock struck 11:11 p.m. At first, only static. Then, an unmistakable pattern. 3 tones, silence, then a voice, distorted but human. The gate is opening. Seconds later, the screen flickered. Viewers saw Bennett step out of her tent, staring into the desert night. Behind her, the horizon began to glow, not with light, but with something darker. A pulsing shadow bending the air around it. Her voice trembled. It's not a signal. It's a summons. The feed cut off. For 12 minutes, the live stream went black. When it returned, the tent was empty. Only her radio remained, repeating one final phrase. He waits beneath the silence. The next morning, emergency teams found nothing. No tracks, no equipment, just a perfectly burned circle in the sand and melted camera lenses facing upward. Yet, at exactly 11:11 p.m. that night, across multiple states, security cameras caught brief static flashes, the same tone for Bennett's feed. And for a fraction of a second, a tall, faceless figure appeared near each camera before vanishing. Experts later analyzed the data and found the signal embedded with a binary code. When decoded, it spelled one chilling sentence: "We are already here." Since then, radio enthusiasts still gather every November 11th, hoping to catch the next broadcast. But no one ever hears the same message twice, because the 11.11 signal doesn't just transmit anymore. It listens back.